All right, we're out here at the Brinkley barn today, and we want to give you a 6-month update on the washer dryer we installed back in December. If you haven't seen that video, I have it out there. I'll link to it at the end. It's a complete install to show you what you need to do to get it in the Brinkley from beginning to end. There's a few different things you got to look out for, but we wanted to just go through the likes and dislikes of us using it for 6 months.
We wanted to really share with you the video that we wish we had when we were making the decision. We had a stackable in our old Jayco camper. We decided to go with a combo unit, a vented unit in this one.
Yep.
We don't camp full time, but we felt like we needed a washer dryer. We'll talk a little bit more about that today. We're those people that love to do laundry. I'm weird. Laundry is my favorite household chore, so we are using it even more than we expected.
Yeah, I mean, I think we use it pretty much every day when we're out there. Just to even wash our clothes we had for the day, just so things don't pile up. And it's also easier when we come home. We don't have to do a lot of wash. We have just a few things to wash, then maybe just the sheets and the towels and all. But all our clothes are pretty much almost done when we come home. And we can leave stuff on the camper. It allows us to leave a little more on the camper so we don't have to repack the camper with every trip.
And what was the scariest part about the install?
Drilling the 4-inch hole.
Here's Johnny.
The camper was brand new. We just got it. It was the first thing I did, and I had to put a 4-inch hole in the side of the camper. It was scary. I actually wound up calling Brinkley because you hit a metal plate, and it's supposed to be, they marked the spot off, and it's supposed to be an easy go through. But I found out later the metal plate is there on both sides, so there's a backing plate for the screws for the vent to catch onto, so they're nice and tight, so that makes total sense. So if you happen to see that while you're drilling, that's totally normal. But that was pretty nerve-wracking. Almost as nerve-wracking as when we drilled the hole in the counter for the soap dispenser.
All right, so let's get into it. What are our likes? I'll start, I would say the install. I was lucky that my husband was able to install it for us. We had talked to our dealer about doing an install, and it got a little dicey. We were very specific that we wanted a vented unit and a combo unit to be able to save space. We didn't really get that confidence from them, so Greg decided to do it himself, and it came out beautiful. It's a clean install. It's easy to sort of get to the washer dryer unit for maintenance, and it just gives us everything that we need.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna, you're always gonna do better yourself. I don't want to knock any dealers or anything, but the way they were gonna do the drain and all just didn't seem right to me. So, I mean, it did take me a little bit longer. It probably took me a week to put in, but, I took my time and did it right, so no big deal.
Yeah, one day I came home and I saw forklifts. I was supposed to help him take the washer dryer off the back of the truck,
Yeah.
and I saw him with forklifts while I was working. I saw him with forklifts moving the washer dryer into the camper door on his own.
And that's all in the washer install video. You go check it out.
Next thing up, convenience. We knew that we wanted a washer dryer. Again, we had one on our old camper. We use it a lot more than we expected, and just to be able to wake up and throw a wash in, or if you spill something, to be able to wash it right away, we find that to be really, really helpful. When we didn't have a washer dryer, we always said, hey, we'll do a halfway mark on a week-long trip. We'll go and put some stuff in, and we wound up being at the laundromats at the campgrounds, and we were lucky. We had good ones.
Yeah.
That was really helpful. But we're finding we're using this one even more than we expected. Pretty much every day, as you said, every day we're throwing a little wash in.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice because you could put it in, you could start a cycle, and then, go out and go to the pool or whatever. You come back, things are done. It's a combo washer dryer. There's nothing, you don't have to move. So it is very convenient to have. All right, next thing is the unit itself. It's pretty solid. Once you get it in and you mount it, it doesn't go anywhere. As long as you mount it right, there's 2 mounting brackets that hook onto the front feet. You put those in and then just, tighten up the feet a little bit so they stay put, and then screw those brackets into the floor, right? So it's in the cap of the camper, and this is where we have a lot of bouncy action going over bridges and all this other stuff, bumps. You get this between the camper and the truck, it won't move anywhere. It stays put. One thing we wanted to note was the rocking around with the spin cycle. When it's doing a spin to dry to close, the camper does move a lot. You'll feel it, and things will rock and rattle in the camper. But it's just the way it is. If you want a washer in the camper, I think it's just something you got to deal with. I don't know if there are any ways you can minimize that. Some people have put those rubber feet underneath. I don't know if that really helps, but it's really no big deal. And honestly, most of the time we're probably out when the thing is running, if we set it and then go out and do something. And if we're in the camper, whatever, free massage chair, sit in the chair and you feel it. Learn from us on the dry cycle. If you're gonna dry clothes in the washer in the camper, you need to set it for an hour and a half. That is the minimum. We've tried 45 minutes, we've tried an hour, and it just doesn't get the clothes dry enough. And that's just the standard load of like 2 pair of jeans, 2 t-shirts, maybe a pair of shorts, some undergarments. You don't want to chock full this thing. It's not made for that. That size load in this washer, just set it for an hour and a half and forget it. We had a problem with this when we were in Florida, and I have dehumidifiers running all the time in the camper to pull all the humidity out so we don't have to deal with mold and all that. And I was outside on the patio. She was inside doing a load of laundry, and she came out, and then I went in for something, and I saw wet clothes hanging all over the camper. Meanwhile, I have dehumidifiers inside pulling all humidity out. So here we are adding water just to pull it out. So that was not a fun day for us in Florida in between Christmas, New Year's.
We had a difference of opinion about that.
Learn from us. Don't do that. Don't be us. Set it for an hour and a half and you'll be good.
I honestly had super high hopes. It sounded almost too good to be true. Put everything in the wash. You come back, it's all done. Yeah. What we learned is there are certain undergarments that we may want to take out in between the washer dryer cycle. And so that took a little bit to learn, but we know we need to keep it on so it dries all the way so that we don't bring more humidity back into the camper. Yeah,
a few small things, if you take it out, is fine. It's no big deal, hang them wherever. But when you have a whole load, thick jeans and shirts and all that, I think that's too much. If you're concerned about condensation in your camper, it's probably not the thing you want to do.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about dislikes or things we would change. One thing we started to talk a little bit about, it does take a long time to get a load of wash done from start to finish. We know to really leave like 3 hours usually.
At least.
The first hour is for wash, and then after that, the drying cycles. So for us, it's not too bad. It's just the 2 of us usually. But it could be really difficult for a family. It takes, like I said, not a ton of clothes can fit in there because you have the extra space with the dryer. Right. So in order to get that done, you may have to do 2 loads then. So if you have a family, it could be tougher. If you're full-time, it could be tougher. But for us, it does work.
So one other thing we noticed is you can't use the pods in these machines. They tell you not to use pods because there's too much detergent in those pods, and also the plastic could get hung up in the wash or clog up the filters the way they work. So you have to travel with liquid or powder detergent. We use the liquid detergent and fabric softener if you use that. But you got to just be careful with the liquid detergent around. Make sure you keep it in a safe spot where it doesn't spill and all. And you got to measure out actually. You could eyeball it, but it only needs about literally a tablespoon of the HE detergent, and if you put more than that in, you can see suds, and a lot of suds in the machine. So when we put a tablespoon in and we actually measure it, I know there's other ways you can do it. So I saw somebody had a really great idea. They had a pump, like a soap dispenser. They cleaned that out and put the detergent in there, and they figured out how many pumps is a tablespoon or how much they want to put in. So if it's like 6 pumps, and that's it. This way it's in a sealed container. So we may do that one day. But right now we're measuring it out. So if you have to do that, just be careful. And then dryer sheets. You're not supposed to put dryer sheets in either. We do once in a while. If she'll stop it to take something out, maybe she'll throw a dryer sheet in, because a lot of static does come out if you don't have that in there. I haven't seen a drawback to that. I don't know why they ask you not to do that. We probably look that up a little more, but we don't do it all the time. Once in a while, we'll throw it in.
Yeah, depending on what clothes are in there. But he did a lot of research about the best products for it. I thought we'd be able to use pods just because they're so convenient when you're on the road. So we do have to be careful. We keep all our laundry stuff in a little bin. Makes it easier to have everything right where you need it. And again, having that extra space above the washer dryer in the corner of our Brinkley 3420, we have it there. So having that shelf above to keep all our laundry stuff together makes it pretty convenient.
Yeah, it's very helpful. It's right there, easy to grab.
I think the next thing we'll talk about are wrinkles.
Wrinkles. So you're gonna have a lot of wrinkles in this machine. it's very gnatty. We're south of the gnat line in South Georgia, so we got our no gnats out. So if you see us whacking gnats away, um, wrinkles are I would think a problem with this machine. I don't remember having wrinkles in our stackable Splendide when we had our Jayco, but when we have the combo unit, maybe it's a smaller barrel in there to put clothes in, and they don't tumble maybe enough when the dryer's going to get the air in and loosen that up. But you will have wrinkles. I'm going to show you a comparison here of two different loads we did. It took us a little bit to figure out, but fabric softener, it seems to be you either love it or you hate it. And we never used it at home, but I saw something somewhere that somebody used fabric softener and it lessened up on the wrinkles. So we figured we'd try it. So we got some Downy and we threw that in. And it does lessen the wrinkles a little bit. I think it definitely does. It doesn't get them away completely. You're still dealing with, you know, crunchy jeans. I noticed too, it matters on the material. The cotton shirts, the full cotton shirts come out there, you know, it looks like you just pulled them out of the hamper and threw them on. Jeans are kind of like that, but the wrinkles kind of come out as you're wearing them. Okay, so the wrinkle test we did was 2 loads of wash, identical loads. The only thing difference being one load had fabric softener added and the other one did not. So the pair on the left did not, and the pair on the right did have fabric softener added. Both loads were taken out of the drum, out of the washer, like dry the second they finished, so they weren't sitting there in the drum. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think it made a difference or not?
So I talked about my favorite chore to do is laundry. My least favorite is ironing, and so I'm definitely not ironing when I'm camping. So this was a big challenge for us. First off, we did get Downy wrinkle releaser, so we keep that on board. The fabric softener definitely was a game changer. It just made everything smell fresher too.
And we try and use the timer on the machine to take everything out right when it's done. We don't let it sit in there. The best way to stop those wrinkles is just pull it out and, you know, either lay them on the bed to dry or let some of those wrinkles out. But if you're going to let them sit, you know, if the cycle is 3.5 hours and you don't take it out to 4.5 hours, you're going to have a wrinkled load. There's no two ways about it. You know, it's just the way it is with this machine. All right, and then there are a few items with maintenance on these machines. One thing is the cleaning cycle. You'll see when you need that, when you turn the machine on, the display will say CL for cleaning, and it's a very simple process. You're just filling up the bleach container with bleach up to the max limit, and then you're filling up the fabric softener also up to the max limit with bleach. And they say don't use the splashless bleach because that has some kind of sudsing agent. What the machine does is it literally fills with water and then it spins at a high rate, I guess with that bleach in there to clean all around. So if you had a sudsy thing in there, I could see why they tell you not to do that. All right, the other thing is the rubber seal around the door, the gray seal. You really should clean that out after every load or two, especially if you have things in your pockets that come out. We did a load of wash and our little crazy camping corgi, I don't know where he is right now, but we always have biscuits in our pockets for him. You never know when you'll need those. I guess I didn't take them out of my pocket, my jeans pocket one day, and they came out in the wash and they end up in that seal, right? And here's what it looked like. And you got to just take a wet cloth or a paper towel and clean in here. I usually do it every other load or so, or you know, every load is fine, but you know, just keep an eye on that because there are drain holes in that seal. The water can come out and go back in the washer, and sometimes I notice they get clogged with either lint or, you know, whatever we had, you know, in our pockets or anything like that. So it's really important to keep that seal clean. You know, you don't want to have mold in there either. If it sits, you can easily develop mold around the inside of that seal. So that's one really important thing to make sure you're in there and cleaning that regularly. All right, last thing on the maintenance is the lint filter. On the combo washer, they designed it so the lint during the dryer either goes out of the camper through the vent, and then I've also read that they try and push some of that lint into the gray tank. So as it's drying and water's building up, they're pushing that into the gray, or they're blowing it outside. And there's a filter at the bottom of the machine also that catches a lot of the debris that's going around, whatever it catches coming out of your pockets or lint. You got to take the bottom of that machine off the cover. There's a little cover on the bottom, and then there's a filter on the bottom that you got to pull out. They say pull it out every few months, every 6 months or so. just to make sure it's clean, make sure everything's flowing nice. Check it out. This is how you do that. I found a little hack when you have to empty out this lint filter for the Splendide washer dryer combo. There's about a cup or two of water that comes out of that thing when you unscrew it. So what I do is I just lift up the front legs of the camper. If you're in a spot you can do this, lift up the front legs, everything will be tilted to the back a little bit. Right, this way when that water comes out, it'll kind of just go right to the back and you don't have to worry about it. What I usually do is I just put a towel down and then I unscrew it. It just kind of soaks everything up pretty quick. You don't have to worry about it too much. I mean, there's a lot of water. Look at all the water coming out of that thing. And once you start it, once you close it, it doesn't stop. So once you're done draining, pull out that little lint filter here. This is what it looks like. Mine's actually clean, surprisingly. But usually there's some debris in there. Just clean it out, screw it back in. Make sure it's nice and tight, clean up the area you're working in and you're all done. It's that simple. Put the cover back on, you're good to go.
Speaking of grease, talk about the water usage.
Well, the water usage is a good topic. So on the cleaning cycle, I have the meter that shows how much water comes into the camper. I zeroed it out for the cleaning cycle. And when it was done and went over to check it out, a little over 17 gallons for the clean cycle. So make sure you have enough space in your grays or empty your grays before you put that clean cycle on. 17 gallons is a lot of water, right? So that could put you over really quick if you're, on your third dot, depending on how many gallons you have capacity in your gray tanks. For the regular colors, I did 2 color cycles. What I did on the Wrinkle test, I zeroed it out. The first one was about 7.3 gallons for the load, and zeroed it out again. The next one was a little over 6 gallons. So, you can say anywhere between 6 and 7.5 gallons for a regular load on the colors setting. So that's not all that bad. I thought it took more than that. That's not too bad. But regardless, just make sure your tanks can handle what you're putting in it. You have enough free capacity in there, or just dump them before you start, just to be sure. You don't want to run into any issues with the grays backwashing on you. That could be disastrous. So best thing is just empty your grays, if you're questioning it.
So there you have it. That's our thoughts on our Splendide washer dryer vented combo. Say that 3 times fast. We love having the convenience of it. It does take a little bit longer to get your wash done, but it's been a really good solution for us, just the 2 of us most times. And what we love is not coming home to tons of laundry to do where you need a vacation from your vacation and you're stuck doing all this laundry. So it helps us keep up as we go. We love having the extra space above it. It gives us more space for storage in our closet. So we really like the unit.
It's definitely a bonus. It's definitely the hardest working appliance in the camper next to the coffee maker, I can tell you that. So if you like this video and it helped you, like and subscribe. Make sure you help us out with those subscribes. We're trying to build this channel up, and it'll also notify you when we put new content out. We got a lot of cool content coming up in the future. Thanks for watching.